Emotional or non-emotional? I guess that is the question, is it not? It's really an interesting thing to come to human design and realize that, it's a 50-50 deal on the planet, guys. 50% of the beings, half of the species basically, is putting out an emotional wave. They're putting out an emotional frequency into the world. And the other half are taking it in and amplifying it. And this difference between the emotional and non-emotional beings or species, to me seems as significant, if not more, even than aura. I mean, literally, guys, I almost think that the break should be your emotional, non-emotional, and then into the 4 aura types, if that makes sense to you, because it's black and white. Either your authority is emotions and all you can trust is emotions, or your authority is not emotions and you can never trust your emotions. And the problem with the one that can never trust its emotions is it's got twice as much emotion. In fact, it's got way more than twice as much because it's been taking in and amplifying emotions all of its life, storing it throughout the cellular material of the body. This is the reason why while I was going through my deconditioning process, I assumed that I had so many what I would call emotional breakdowns. It's just times where riveting tears and, I don't even want to go into it because I'll scare you guys off. Get in far enough not to be able to get out, and then I'll tell you the truth. But I've just assumed that was the toxin of emotions that weren't me being misstored in my body or in my form. And as I was going through my cellular process, it was changing. So we have these two different beings. Really different. As different as black and white. The people that are only able to trust their emotions, and their authority is how they feel. And so if you have an emotional being in your life, you need to really honor the fact that they cannot make decisions in the now, not properly. They need time. They need to be time to get clear. They need time to really sit with things and let the nervousness about whatever they're about to do with their energy or with their life. Because that's my experience also, is that the emotional being can really get clear when it's given time. And for the non-emotional being to really respect that, and then for the non-emotional beings to realize that anytime they make an emotional decision, man, are they screwed. A friend of mine right now, I could hear it in the voice, they were all emotional. I was like, oh boy, don't make a decision from that place. I'm open emotional, so that's what I know. Look, if I'm emotional, I don't make decisions because I'm non-emotional. And for the emotional being, what happens is they make mistakes if they make their decision too quickly, because they can make it from a place in their wave. Okay, so again, here's the non-emotional being over here, and it can never trust its emotions. So if you look in your chart, you discover you are not emotional, but you're taking them in and amplifying them. No emotion is ever true for you. And if you find yourself getting emotional, man, is that a sign to just sit down and take a deep breath or whatever you need to do, but don't let it drive your mind to make a decision, because it is very penetrating and it's really easy to make emotionally based decisions when you're non-emotional, and all you're going to do is create havoc in your life. And then we get over to the emotional being, and we remember that, that time is your friend, and that there is no truth in the now for you. And at one point you may be very high on your wave, and everything may look rosy and blossoming lotuses, and flowers, and then you go down, everything's dark, and everything's terrible, and then you come back up. But slowly but surely, you'll start to find that the nervousness in your body drops, and that you get your clarity, and that you can really respect that clarity. And, the way the emotional being can answer any question from now on is, hey, it feels good now, but, let me see how I feel next week. I don't make decisions quickly. I'm not a in the now person. I trust my feelings. It takes me time, and if you're out there in the world where it's easier to say, well, I just need to think about it, well, you can say that to them, to protect yourself, but buy yourself some time because you're emotional. And if you're not emotional, really, really get what I'm saying, man. No emotion is ever true for you. It's not. You may go to a party and it may be the most exciting thing ever. Doesn't mean you need to have all those people over next week. It doesn't. And you may be upset and, something, don't make a decision. My God. if there is one center that continues to haunt me, it's the open emotional center, because I do have the open emotions. And I would suggest that you really not ever trust your emotions ever again. And that goes with not trusting your mind ever again, and not trusting anybody else's mind ever again, and learning to be your own authority, and your own aura, and your own authority, in your own body. Nothing outside of you. And that's why it's nice to know where those open centers are. And then if you are an emotional being, hey, you're here to express what you feel, and you're here to be with however you feel. And you're not here to have that messed with either. So these two species are really different. Allow them to be different. You know, it's okay. That's what gives us the beautiful diversity we have on the planet. Why be like anyone else? Why not be uniquely you? That's what human design is. It's a way to be uniquely you. So that's my perspective on emotions.